British holidaymakers have been met with chaos today as airports and ferry services struggle to cope with an influx of families looking to get away for the Easter half-term break. Fed-up passengers reported hours-long queues at Manchester Airport while gridlock traffic en route to Dover Port stretched for miles, with scores of tourists missing their ferries to Calais. The situation was worsened by families flocking to Kent in search of a sunny staycation. Severe delays were also reported at Heathrow Airport on Saturday, with some passengers left waiting for over an hour on air bridges. Arrivals also continued to face delays, with one complaining of waiting up to an hour to disembark their aircraft. It comes as industry leaders today warned the travel misery would likely last until at least the summer. The delays have been blamed on crippling staff shortages, with tens of thousands of staff needed to fill the void, with 12,000 needed at Heathrow alone. Some 400 new staff are being sworn in at Manchester Airport this month after travellers were forced to queue for hours at check-in and baggage reclaim on Friday. British holidaymakers have been met with chaos today at transport hubs such as Manchester Airport and the Port of Dover as people set off on the first day of the Easter break. Gridlock traffic en route to Dover Port stretched for miles, with scores of tourists missing their ferries to Calais. Severe delays were also reported at Heathrow Airport on Saturday, with some passengers left waiting for over an hour on air bridges. Manchester Airport has struggled to cope after seeing passenger numbers explode, with figures for February showing a huge year-on-year increase, from 70,000 passengers to more than 2 million. Video footage shared online also showed incredibly long queues at security, with bunched-up passengers struggling to put their items into trays. Similar issues were reported today. Fuming holidaymakers branded the transport hub the worst in Europe for failing to prepare for the spike in travel following the easing of COVID restrictions. One fed-up passenger fumed, "Man Airport, you are an absolute disgrace. It was dangerous today. People will get hurt if you do not improve things." Others reported queuing for 4 hours to get through check-in and security, with several missing flights, while one added, "Manchester Airport is a disgrace, dangerous and a shambles." Images shared online showed suitcases piling up and falling off the conveyor belt, with some becoming visibly damaged. Hours-long queues have been reported at Manchester Airport. Fuming holidaymakers branded Manchester Airport the worst in Europe for failing to prepare for the spike in travel following the easing of COVID restrictions. One suitcase was damaged amid the chaos at Manchester's baggage reclaim. Suitcases are strewn across the floor after a conveyor belt at Manchester Airport became overwhelmed on Friday. The airport has struggled to cope after seeing passenger numbers explode, with figures for February showing a huge year-on-year increase, from 70,000 passengers to more than 2 million. Manchester Airport is partly owned by the Labour-run City Council. Following a meeting with airport bosses, Councillor Pat Carney, who previously warned that the travel hub's reputation was nosediving, said they had come up with a 6-point plan to fix the issues. He also said the airport needed to level with the public after being told of problems he had not been aware of, adding, "To be brutally honest, we're going to have delays and queues over Easter." Bosses have already been forced to apologise for agonising waits in recent weeks, with staff shortages and sickness due to COVID being blamed for placing operations under extreme pressure. Disgrace. Fuming holidaymakers take to social media to blast chaotic scenes at Manchester Airport on Friday and Saturday. Councillor Carney said airport management had totally underestimated the recovery time of the airport, adding that such disruption is likely to last until the summer. 2 million people went through the airport in February, and, in the previous year, it was 70,000, so you had to plan ahead, he said. They should have seen all this. They should have known the recovery was going to be very quick. He added, "I don't think their planning has been really up to scratch. There's been a failure of management." Mail Online has contacted Manchester City Council for comment. Karen D, Chief Executive of the UK's Airport Operations Association, told BBC Breakfast, "At the start of the year we were under travel restrictions that meant there were virtually no passengers, and what airports have had to do is really scale up in a very short space of time. The industry as a whole is scaling up and we are doing this as fast as we can." She said the industry needed to recruit tens of thousands of staff as it scales up after Britain's COVID-19 restrictions on travel were removed. However, she warned, "We do think there will be queues in peak times over the Easter period." London's Heathrow Airport alone needed another 12,000 staff, she said. "We've started this process some time ago, but actually with those scale of numbers, particularly in a tight labour market, it is going to take us some time, unfortunately," she added. She told those planning to fly, "Check with the airline you are flying with because they will not want people arriving before they are permitted to check in. Make sure you're looking at the types of documents that you need because that will speed through your check-in too." Heathrow said it was aware of delay today as passengers branded it a shambles and claimed they waited for over an hour on air bridges. Arrivals also face delays. When you're approaching security, think, "Do I have liquids? Do I have a laptop?" All of those things that we've actually forgotten about because we haven't traveled for so much time. It comes as lorries and motorists are also facing long delays to board ferries at the port of Dover. Cross-channel ferry capacity between Dover and the French port of Calais has been disrupted after P&O ferry services were suspended following its sacking of 800 workers last month. The company is yet to be given clearance to resume sailings using cheaper agency staff. Poor weather overnight has made the situation worse, as have tourists travelling to Kent for an Easter getaway. Nick Gale, a teacher taking his family to Calais for a trip to Amsterdam, told Sky News they had been stuck for over 2 hours and missed their ferry. No communication at all from port staff. Policemen said it was basically the perfect storm, less ferries, plus bad weather and P&O issue, he said. One woman waiting in the traffic jam said, "It's taken about an hour to move half a mile, if that, and we've missed our ferry crossing now. So we're just deliberating whether it's worth going home or sitting it out." We are aware of queues at Dover, and the Kent Resilience Forum and local partners are working to minimize any disruption by deploying temporary traffic management measures, the Department for Transport said in a statement. This has been caused by a number of factors, including severe weather in the Channel.